Seen, you know, you said what you said. I was like, well, damn. In my mind, I'm like, I know Sir Drew was BDK.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So
he said what?
Sir Drew went on to.
When he said about YBE and Team Gutter.
Yeah.
Like cracking everything off, but I was like, but then he.
No, I knew you
knew BDK.
I was in BDK.
What you heard, you can hear a motherfucking thing.
It's like just sound. It's audio for me. So I'm not. You know how like some of the YouTube videos when they make fun of like the rapper and producer relationship, and he and there geeking like, ooh, that shit you. I don't. That's not even registering when I'm two-tone the tracking engineer. Yeah. All I'm hearing is blah wah 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 the whole time.
Right.
And then I don't hear it until I listen to it like a fan later.
Okay.
There might be days or weeks later, or hear it when it dropped. But even leaving the studio, that's why it's kind of hard because I'm to work with me with some.
So you're
artists.
not really like, this is dope or whatever. It's like
that left a long time ago. Bro, no, you got to think, bro. I mean, you got to really. They say it takes 10, and I'm not saying I'm a master. I'm just saying the time that I spend in what they say. They say 10,000 hours to master some shit. I've done 40,000 hours. So you got to think at a certain threshold, you lose some shit which is the zest, the zeal, the passion, but I knew I did it for so long, become muscle memory, so that when it dissipated, the clientele didn't notice because I'd done it for so long. I already know how to create the passion you need to be creatively sound in the studio, so I can still be two-tone for you. Because at this age, I'm supposed to be gone by now, fade away, and be in the Hall of Fame about what Las Vegas used to be. Right. So to still be around, I know that I found an algorithm that works. You know what I'm saying? And it's first being tapped in, right? But not succumbing to the moment because I'm still just an engineer making sound.
You got certain people that to me it just like landlord music. And I tell everybody this, I'm like, landlord music is perfect with two-tone. Like it just, you know that two-tone just knows his sound.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, we created it together.
Yeah, right. So it's a.
If you could see the origin of that though,
stone.
but if you see how we created, bro, it's so nonchalant and so like since day one, even when the whole YBE situation was becoming what it was. I'm talking about SU. Me and Creole just had this talk a couple days ago. It really, man, that's the bros. Yeah, all that shit happened. They had Sir Drew.
Yeah, my shit the hardest part to talk about Tizzle shirt. I see you keep looking. You keep looking. It's the hardest one ever made. Okay, no, my bad. I go over here looking at his eyes. Yeah.
Sir Realist got the number from Sir Drew. Okay. And two realists came to me while they were still in high school coming to the house. You know what I'm saying? So they initiated the process of when P didn't even know they rap. You know, I don't get too much into the story and shit, but
okay.
Once he heard that, then P started coming. But P is so nonchalant with his shit, bro, but he doesn't create unless he's in the studio. That's the thing. His life is way too like his life outside of that.
Exactly.
And like a lot of us, the things that we do well are the things that we create standards for and do that same way over and over again. So he's a Madden freak, bro. Like,
right.
So YBE would be there. He, we come with a few people. It'd be, all the regular SU would be there, two realists, also,
right.
All them. But he'd be running play. We play Madden together. So I'd be, sitting down while the beat's playing because when we get there, we put the beat on. And you let him write.
Okay.
But he's playing Madden, running plays, and he plays really good, bro. I'm sitting here, I'm not working. The beat's playing, I'm just downtime while he writes.
Right.
But he running plays, bro, like a coach, scoring on me while he's writing the verse in his head. So I'm sitting here trying my best, running Steve McNair and the motherfucking Ravens into the ground while he touchdown. He playing defense while I'm trying to score.
While creating a song.
While he's writing the song, not even paying attention, giving me autopilot while he's and I'm trying.
He beating your ass.
And he's beating your ass.
Beat my ass, bro. And I consider myself pretty good.
That's tough. That's
But
tough.
I'm just talking about to the level of his mind, bro. It's
Very
like
locked in.
the stuff that I see a lot of artists struggle with or take way too seriously or just really are focused on. He has this capacity to do it like just kind of nonchalant.
Naturally.
And it's ironic because I'm the same way in the studio in engineering.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I've had back and forth and disagreements and arguments with 60-70% of my clientele because we all become like family and cool and like brothers and shit like that. I mean, you want like this, bro? But me and him have never had a dispute. And we talking about working since 06, 15 years. We've never had because we're just both so nonchalant and cool and things we do. We understand each other. It's
And that timing, man. When you around somebody
crazy.
that long,
Yeah,
it's real. That's how like me and bro like that. Like even when we disagree on shit, or because we see things way different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we gotta balance it. We got that respect for each other to let it just be what it is. You know what I'm saying?
It makes it organic like that.
That's why I always tell people, if you ever have a disagreement with one of your friends and they flip all the way out on you, they never liked you. They never had no love for you.
Yeah.
Because you're supposed to have enough respect for me to try to at least figure out that I didn't mean no harm or whatever it was. You're supposed to at least contemplate it if you really my boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you know, that's just real respect and love, man, for real.
Yeah. I had the relationship with a few people, but his and I that's probably the longest running one out of all those. But even with Mook and Creole, I mean, since they were kids in high school and even till now, when we meet up, it's just like it was the first day.
They all got that kind of energy though.
Yeah, which is why.
Mook probably the most energetic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the rest of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Creole and P, they both laid back, man. You know what I mean? It's dope though.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's really the vibe you need in the studio for that kind of music.
But you even mixed Sir Drew, but Sir Drew was BDK though.
Sir Drew was now this is crazy. That's how Sir Drew and I met, you know. And now that's going back to the origin of what we're talking about.
Right. Yeah.
So peep this. So I got into BDK in like 05, something like that. Or maybe end of 05, 06 or something like that.
Okay.
And so did Sir Drew. Neither of us had never met. But Twix, I think Twix brought him into BDK. Pretty sure. But anyway, Twix gave him the number. I was working at Cheesecake Factory at the time as a server. I still was doing the studio shit, but before it was the two-tone you know today, it was, you know, keep it realistic. 9 to 5 is necessary to support your dream.
Definitely.
That's just what it is. Regardless of how hard you think or how cool you think it is, some motherfuckers have the ability to go the whole way and never get a 9 to 5. But ones that have responsibilities, kids, whatever it may be, if you're being realistic, unless you won the lottery or you got somebody.
No, you need something. You need a 9 to 5
or
hustle.
Absolutely. So
you need some income for sure.
I remember the night because I thought. Because at the same time, I've known Bozy since he was 16, but Bozy and I didn't have like a running relationship for that one. But he was in BDK too.
Yeah, it was thick. Okay.
He was so they called him the Prince within the BDK circle. But Sir Drew was also known as the Prince outside in Vegas, right? I didn't know that yet. I wasn't privy to that, the younger crowd yet as far as them. I was, doing shit on the sideline, whatever. But I got a voicemail call and it was like, yo, what's up, Tom? This is the Prince. Give me a call. I'm the BDK too now, man. Twix gave me your number. You know what I'm saying? I want to get a session with you. And I was still recording at the house.
Okay.
So the whole night, I'm thinking it's Bozy. So I'm thinking Bozy coming to a session, and then it ends up being Sir Drew.
That's crazy.
So once Sir Drew came, we recorded Wrote a Mat Out. That's from AM to the P. All the songs.
Okay.
I featured on the next shit. I was singing, doing skits, doing all that shit. But Sir Drew sent 2 realists, and then 2 realists brought P, and then SU. And then SU and Sir Drew met at the crib, at my crib, and did their first song together. In my studio and shit. So that's what I'm saying. It's like the memory of the history of that shit.
Yeah. That's why. That's the behind the stage shit, man. That's why I had to. That was one reason I was pointing to bring you on. And then even after I seen, you said what you said, I was like, well, damn. In my mind, I'm like, I know Sir Drew was BDK.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So
he said what?
Sir Drew. For people that don't know, Vegas music scene the way it exists now was created in 06, 07. That's when it sparked, and it was with YBE and Team Gutter.
Yes.
No,
I knew you knew BDK.
I was in BDK, but
I didn't know that. Okay.
There was all. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, that's why.
But I knew BDK was a part of that.
Exactly. So I mean, you could always find an origin of an origin story. You know what I'm saying? But you have to pick one. Everybody wants to be, but you have to be, if you're honest with yourself and what it is, it's just, before that, it was Stacy G, La Clica, Doomsday, and a couple other runners up.
Right.
There wasn't, the motherfuckers who they became later on, yeah, they were doing music, but the ones that brought the attention to the people to keep paying attention and then build on that.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. It was still, for years and years, you could always just say, all you can see is my dust, or whatever Eclipse or Playboy was saying. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it was. So, me being, I moved here in 97. So, I saw it happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm not from here. I came here right after high school.
Where you from originally?
LA. Moved to Alabama halfway through high school, and then came here from Alabama.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was in Alabama right when No Limit was popping off.
Okay, so
I was just so we was in Cadillacs with blunts with bumping Silk the Shocker.
Silk.
The one where he coming out the TV.
I fucked with Silk.
Yeah.
Was that Charts to the Game?
No, that was the second album.
Oh no, you talking about the first one?
You talking about the first one?
I think it was called The Shocker.
The Shocker.
The Shocker. Yeah.
Mister, call me what the fuck you want.
Yeah, that was my shit.
So
Silk was,
so to get that in the heart of where it was coming from early on, when the South was coming to take over music, I was able to bring that element to Vegas music ahead of time. So when you would get the a thug is a nigga, don't need another nigga. What? You know what I'm saying? The chops and doing this shit, and then all of a sudden you started hearing it on. I'm not saying I knew or had the
but you was hearing it down south, and it was like.
But I knew that I
could bring something new to the West Coast.
Chops and screws without them asking, just giving it to them, because out here in that they didn't know to ask for that. There wasn't a sound yet. You know what I'm saying? There we and engineers that were available,
bouncing around,
were the older niggas, the older cats. Younger cats wasn't doing it yet. You know what I'm saying? They would go to studio. So back then you had a D1 with One Vibe.
Yeah.
There was the studio that was over across from the Orleans. I forget. I think it was called the studio. I'm not sure.
And then you had Bozy Pops.
That's where I met Bozy at. That's another story.
Discount Mall.
No, that was that was the first one. But then where I met Bozy at when he was 16, I had done a talent show at Cashman Field that his daddy and I think Ken Bosquet, they had a partnership and had a studio at Twix First Barbershop in that 300 East Lake Mead. Before it was Twix's Barbershop, it was Bozy T's daddy, Richard T studio. So I won that
history, man.
I won that talent show where I won part of it, and they came and recruited me. I went over there and started fucking with them. Met Bozy.
BDK.
No, that was just a fly by night thing. It didn't have, because Bozy back then was like, he was different. He was like, you can't produce all my shit. You can't play. You know, when he walked in and seeing like me there, he was like, who this? Now it's Bozy introduced me to my children's mother, my ex-wife. That's how close me and Bozy is. Bozy's my brother. That's right. He produced Melancholy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's bros. But the tie-in to just the feeling to not be born here and to move here after everybody already created the relationships they have with everybody in the city, and it's either you in or you out. So to be able to come and to be able to create something, feel like I'm from here, and to be spoken of as and thrown in, not, hey, the nigga from LA by way of Alabama, he fuck with us too. They say Vegas music,
two-tone.
You know, so the love of that is, you know, that's why it's easy to have an organic relationship with everybody, because if you just, that's that Southern hospitality too, where show some love for no reason. It's okay to chunk a deuce at a motherfucker.
It is. Right. Facts.
How the fuck you winning if you lost in this? Niggas think they own, so they get off in this. It's easy to get crossed in this. On TOP, we gon' get far from this. Step up in they town and burn it down like I'm a horse.